My name is Becky Freed, and this is my story. I always knew that I wanted to be a mom, and after a couple years of trying to get pregnant, my doctor suggested that John and I try IVF. So Cade came along, and he was our IVF miracle, and we didn't think we could have children on our own unassisted after that. So we were surprised when Ty came along a year later. And then Brock, we thought we were preventing, but what do you know, a year later, then we have Brock. So 3 boys and 3 years. I was over the moon excited to be a mom, but if I'm being honest, I was also a little overwhelmed. Shortly after that, John found out that he had testicular cancer. I remember sitting with the oncologist talking about all the side effects of the treatment, and one of them being that we could no longer have children of our own. And I just thought, well, we have 3 boys of our own, and clearly God's plan. I shouldn't have questioned it, why I had 3 boys in such a short amount of time. A few weeks into John's treatment, I got a call from my sister-in-law, Lindsay, who was pregnant at the time, and she had just found out that she was diagnosed with cancer. Lindsay's prognosis wasn't quite as good as John. She had a very rare and aggressive form of small cell ovarian cancer. And she was looking at, different treatment options and what would be the best. And in the end, she chose something that was less invasive, but gave her the best chance to get a healthy baby. I had never questioned God's plan or in my life ever. And I always felt like I had a really strong faith, even from a young age, had a really good relationship with Jesus, and just felt like his will was going to be done. And I never really questioned it. But trying to be a strong support for my husband, and also keeping things somewhat normal for 3 little boys as the world outside of our house was, adjusting to cancer treatments. It was kind of a struggle. And if you've been through cancer and it's impacted your life, you understand the roller coaster of the highs and lows, the chemo, the scans, the blood tests, the follow-up appointments, and just the anxiety that kind of goes with all of that. I remember one of the really tough days, I went out to my grandma Erdman's house. She has an unshakable faith, and anytime I would ever question what was happening, she always kind of helped to steer me back in the right direction. And she said, "Becky, grab that red hymnal and read the lyrics of Because He Lives." And I had sung that song in church, and I was really familiar with it, but that day, the words just felt like God was speaking directly through me, through my grandma. And I knew that from that point forward, whatever God's will was for our family in this situation, I could handle it. Because he lives, I could face tomorrow. Because he lives, I could face the fears that I had and that I was trying to help absorb for my family. Lindsay's love, a mother's love, to sacrifice your own well-being for your child, is just a testament to being a mom. And she gave birth to Bentley in August, and then she did some more aggressive treatments, but still passed away in December, just 4 months later. Bentley is here, and Bentley is healthy, and that was Lindsay's greatest wish as a mom, even though she knew she wouldn't get to see him grow up. And I think about that a lot, because being a mom is tough. It's the greatest joy, but it's also balancing school, home, dishes, laundry, boys' activities, farm life, juggling it all. Sometimes I feel like I'm just barely keeping my head above water. Then I think about Lindsay, and my perspective shifts a little bit from I have this to-do list that I have to get done to I get to do this. And being a mom is an immeasurable blessing, and I don't want to take that for granted.